369, 370, 371, 372, and 373. Hello, everybody, and welcome to Shenaniderp. So in the last episode, I started building this thing, and we started talking about things like Star Trek and which is better and all that fun stuff. And I'm going to be continuing building this thing, but there's a couple of things I want to do first. Whoa. First things first, that is actually a house that's space built. It looks good, but I think it might be a little too modern for the area. He also built it in the wrong place. This actually needs to be moved over to here. So yeah, he's got to tear that down and move that over so I could have space to actually build other things. Anyways, now, a couple episodes ago, I was trying to figure out a way to make all the colors of wool. Whoa. And I figured out how to do it. It took me a while, and it took me a couple of trials, and thanks to a guy named Don't Die Hard or Stone, which I think that's how it's said. There's no spaces and there's no capital letters, so I don't know if I'm breaking up the words in the right order or anything, but I think it's Don't Die Hard or Stone. That's what I read when I do it. But thanks to him, I actually figured out how to do it, and holy crap, somebody left this thing running. Which actually isn't too much of a problem. But yeah, I think somebody left it running. That's okay. But yeah, obviously it works, and judging from how these are all pretty close to the same level, it works evenly. So I got this to work. Now, there were a couple of different ways shown to me. Kelmore Smith went above and beyond and actually showed me at least two different ways to get it to work. I didn't use either of them. The first one he showed me, which, if I'm smart, I have his Igmar picture up on the screen right now, uses 66 fabricators. Okay, 66 fabricators. That's a lot of fabricators. And with the whole scare over Zycraft stuff right now, I'd rather not have that many fabricators running simultaneously. Plus, he actually didn't take into account all of them. Basically, he just had the triangle of fabricators, which isn't accurate. It only goes up to 11, which actually, let's see, I think it goes up into, I don't know, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. It would go up to this blue here. It wouldn't do any brown, green, or red, but it would do the dark gray and the pink, and I'm skipping those. So he didn't have all of them into account, but it was a working model, and I could see how it worked from the picture he sent. However, it was rather large. The other way he showed me, and it's a way that I don't know why I didn't think of, because I had seen it before. CompU had it on the Season 2 server, where he had 4 turtles, and to each of the 4 turtles was 4 sheep. And basically what the turtle would do, it would shear the sheep in front of it, it would turn, shear the sheep, turn, shear the sheep, turn, shear the sheep, and then sit there for a little while. And then repeat the entire process all over again, shearing all 4 sheep with a decent amount of time in between the shearings for the sheep to regrow their wool. I don't know why I didn't think of that one. That one's actually seems to be kind of the obvious one. But now that I think about it, even if I did think about it, it wouldn't work. Because one of the big problems we had with that setup was that the sheep would keep disappearing. Seriously, we would leave it go for like a week, we would come back, half the sheep are gone. We don't know where they went. CompuHat had closed them in a glass box, basically. If they were real sheep, they would have suffocated to death, but obviously they're Minecraft sheep. They just kept disappearing. So I think in the long run that wouldn't have worked. Now this trick that I'm using, it shouldn't work, but it does. And the trick is right here, with these two turtles right here. And they are crafty turtles. And that is thanks to the Don't Die Hard or Stoned. He showed me how crafty turtles work. Well, he at least pointed me in the right direction of how crafty turtles work. And as we can see, after a decent amount of delay, like green one just went off there. Is this one still working or did it die? That was red. Okay, I think the second turtle died, which I'll just fix. But basically what they do is they pull wool out of here, which obviously I'm going to have to reset the second turtle because we're filling up on wool. And it uses the crafty side of Crafty Turtle and transforms them into the different colors of wool that I need. However, and this is the funny part of it, and I love this part, if we watch this guy go, does anybody notice the problem? Anybody out there? Seriously, does anybody notice the problem that comes with this particular thing? Well, okay, it doesn't really qualify as a problem, but it most definitely qualifies as abusing a glitch. And as I've said before, abusing glitches aren't necessarily a bad thing. Basically, I could do the same exact thing, but I would have to keep replacing the minium stone. But thanks to a nice little glitch, I don't have to. So, interesting thing. But it works. Yeah, too long without yielding. It does that. So we restart it. And poof, it starts working. And basically what it does is all of the white wool goes into here. And then into the chest. And then we create a loop for the turtle. And the loop will pull the wool out of the chest. And then run the craft function against the wool and the minium stone for as many times as the loop has repeated. Yeah, no, maybe something like that. I don't know. But the first time it outputs white wool. The second time it outputs orange wool. The third time, and so on and so forth. So basically, I get all the colors of the wool that I need, and I also get an even distribution of the white wool because all of the white wool is going into this chest. So everything is equal now, even though right now, as we saw, I have 24 stacks of white wool, or 1,024 stacks of white wool. I don't need any more. But yeah, I mean, it's that simple. The only problem is, as it gets further along in the loop, it takes longer and longer to output the wool. That's why I had to put 2 here. It's not enough to keep up with the wool. In fact, I still don't think it's long enough to keep up with the wool. And as we can see, I'm having major lag issues. And this is connectivity lag, which might actually be bad enough, because it was pretty bad yesterday. It was so bad that I lost the lava pump system that I was using in the other world. And I just haven't replaced it yet. Not a big loss, but the simple fact that it could happen just bums me out pretty hardcore. Rumor has it, I don't know how true this is, but let's just say it comes from a reputable source. Okay, that's a relative term, but whatever. It comes from a source that I trust. Basically, our host is under a DDoS attack, which they think is actually... Wait, you know what? I'm not going to say that. I'm just going to say, supposedly our host is under a DDoS attack, and that's why I haven't actually got the map download yet, so I can work on the frames per second issue, because the website for the host is down. And I'm blaming this massive amount of lag on the DDoS as well, because it is affecting Space a lot. He has a lot of lag issues, to the point where he can only play for like a half an hour a week. It's pretty bad. And yeah, I know the website's been down for at least several days from what Adult's saying. So yeah, we're definitely having fun. Yeah, we can see we're out of lava. I need to fix that. I just haven't gotten around to that yet. Also need to finish building that mobile platform, but I haven't gotten around to that either. Alright, let's see what we can do about finishing up this little house here, which actually brings up a problem. I was counting it out earlier, and there's not enough space to actually build another house over there. Unless I make up like a bendy L-shaped house, I guess. I could, but it's difficult. It's difficult to figure this stuff out. But, yeah, filling out the rest of this village is actually going to be quite difficult. Because the houses have to be big enough that I can actually build them to look nice, but small enough to fit in this, now what I consider a very tiny castle. Oy. I don't know, it's hard, but I'll figure it all out. I'm sure I will. But today, let us figure this out. You know what? Let's make this house a true 2-story house, like that is over there, instead of this kind of like 1.5 kind of things. But yeah, let's make it a 2-story house, which means I need more spruce wood. Okay, I do have a lot of it. Good. And then I need more rubber wood, which probably means I need a lot more rubber wood than I have, which kind of sucks because... Oops, I do stuff like that. But it kind of sucks because... there's the lag again. Yeah, I have to cut down the rubber wood manually. You can't put it through an automated machine, because the IC2 rubber wood won't get bone meal from the red power deployers or from the turtle, which is an interesting thing. I'm not hearing the pop of that last one. Oh, there it was. What are the stars doing? The stars are going backwards a little bit. Yeah, we're having a lot of disconnect issues. Actually, usually if the stars are jumping backwards like that, that's actually server problems. Usually. I don't know if that's 100% true, but that's what it meant on my server, is we were having server problems, not connection problems. Oof. Okay. That's 4, that's 4. Okay, so we go over here. Boop. Alright, so I watched... Oh, they don't go there. Oh, this lag. This lag is going to be the death of me, I swear it. Anyways, I got to watch the most recent episode of Doctor Who yesterday. Or 2 days ago. As, you know, the case may be. Or however long ago it was when the episode came out from when you are watching this episode right now. That's yesterday for me, anyways. And, I was wrong in a couple of different things. I assumed that this episode would either be the best episode of Doctor Who ever made, or the worst. I was wrong, because I was wrong in assuming what the episode was. Okay, so they advertised it. They pushed some serious advertisements. I don't remember if they said it, but they sure as hell emphasized that this was the episode they were going to announce the Doctor's name. They were actually going to say the Doctor's name. There's a problem with that, though. As has already been determined in a previous in several previous episodes, actually. 1, 2, 3, and I think right here. Yeah, as stated in several previous episodes, silence will fall when the question is asked. Okay, and not only is it silence will fall when the question is asked, it's silence must fall when the question is asked. They emphasize that the proper translation of that particular phrase is silence must fall. Okay. Well, the question was sure as hell asked. It wasn't answered, which I'd qualify that as a horrible cop-out. Okay, so some hallucination. Yes, okay, it was a directed hallucination, but it was still a hallucination by, Wait, what the hell was her name? Holy crap, I've forgotten the current companion's name. Oswin Oswald. Holy crap, I can't believe I've forgotten her name. That's actually kind of pathetic. Holy crap. Well, I'll remember it here in like 10 minutes. I'll be like, oh right, that was her name. But anyways, her. Yeah, so River Song, I probably should have said this earlier, but massive spoiler alert for anybody who hasn't seen the episode yet. Yeah, fair warning. Oh, god damn it. That was that lag screwing with me again. That's actually how I lost most of the lava pump setup. Anyways, so yeah, massive spoiler alert for anybody who hasn't seen the episode yet. If you haven't seen the episode yet, just stop watching this video and go watch the episode. Things like DVRs exist for a reason. Outside of that, I'm sure the DVDs will be available here shortly, considering not only were they done well in advance of the series being finished, which is absolutely ridiculous if you think about it, they were done so long in advance that BBC America got impatient and shipped them early. I know it was an accident, but still. It's like, I'm sorry, you were done recording so long ago that you managed to set up all of the editing required to air it, and all of the editing required, special features, menu design, all that fun crap, to get the DVDs made far enough in advance that they were sitting there waiting to be shipped out to the people that pre-ordered them a week in advance of the last episode. Holy crap! I don't know about you, but that sounds like a horrifyingly bad inefficiency in... Wait, where the hell did that other stack go? Anyways, that seems like a horribly bad inefficiency in the whole TV making process now. But anyways, what the hell was I saying? Oh yeah, so I was saying if you don't want the spoilers, turn it off now, go watch the episode. I'm sure it will be easily available however you go about getting it. Spoilers. So, River Song is just a hallucination in the new companion's head, yet somehow she manages to say the doctor's name and get the magical, mystical, password-protected door to open, even though only Clara, that's her fucking name, I told you I'd remember it, eventually, so that the hallucination that only Clara could hear it, all of a sudden magically everything, or the door could hear it, Though nobody outside of the doctor could hear it, and that's explained later on, makes absolutely no sense, but whatever. So yeah, I think that was a horrible cop-out. Everything that Riversong said, we heard up until that point, and then everything after that point that Riversong said, we heard. So yes, I called this a while ago. I actually have it in writing that there were two possibilities for this episode when they announced the name, which they heavily emphasized that they were going to. It was either going to be a horrible cop-out, and they weren't actually going to announce that they were going to cheapen it by not saying it, by cheating in some way, shape, or form, or it was just going to be a name that could not possibly live up to the hype that they put out. Yeah, okay, these are even size. And I was right. I was right on the first one. They copped out. So, yeah, that wasn't good. But turns out that that's not the problem. The problem is, one of my big questions was, before the episode, was, how in the hell are they going to do it? They've already stated that when the question is asked, the question will be asked at the fall of the 11th. So when the 11th Doctor dies, the question is asked. That was shown. I mean, that they went out of their way to say that. The question will be asked when the 11th falls, at the fall of the 11th. So I'm wondering, how the hell are they going to do that when Matt Smith signed on for at least another year? Turns out that this episode, while it answered one of the major questions that was going through everybody's head, who the fuck is Clara? The impossible girl. They explained that. They did a really good job of it, which... Wait, I'll get onto that in a second. But, I need more netherrack, or nether brick. That'll work. So, anyways, oh, now I forget what the hell I was saying again. I hate it when I do that. Oy. Ah, crap. I do forget what the hell I was saying. So let's go on to the second thing. I hate it when I do that. It means I miss something. Miss something of what I was saying. So, anyways, they explain the impossible girl thing. Okay, and it is actually pretty awesome. I'll give it to them. That explanation is pretty awesome. But, as is the case with previous seasons of Doctor Who, I've gotten to the point where I'll watch the the season finale of Doctor Who, and then I'll go back and rewatch the entire season all over again, because chances are the final episode explains things that they were building up to in the previous episodes. I mean, they were doing it for a while. That whole Bad Wolf thing that was in season 1 of the new series. Yeah, that was a build-up. That was intentional. They do that a lot. And I mean a lot. So, I went back, watched it again, and that episode, oh, I forget the name of it, but it's the one where they fight the sun god. And I don't mean a god that, you worship to get the sun to come up. I mean an actual god made out of the sun. The leaf that saved that entire solar system makes a hell of a lot more sense now. It always bothered me, that episode. Like, how in the hell does a leaf do that? I know they explained it as the infinite possibilities, the infinite days that never were. But that makes no goddamn sense. Okay? If that were the case, then anything could have infinite intrinsic value. Because anything can potentially mean something to anybody. Okay? So, there was potential that it could have been that ring that she gave the dog lady, and not the leaf. There you go. That's infinite possibilities that just never happened. So if we're counting all the infinite possibilities that just never happened, then anything could have killed the sun god thing. Which is just insane. Woo. Oh, they're upstairs doing their thing. Alright, so, that was a rip-off, in my opinion. I'm gonna have to go hunt for more netherrack. Crap. Now, I'll do what I can, finish up my story. But, okay, so, that always bothered me about that episode. It's like, that makes absolutely zero freaking sense. How could it possibly be that that leaf means so much? It means infinity, but nothing else does. It just makes absolutely no bloody sense. So, but the final episode of the series, or of the season, I keep saying series because that's how it is over in Britain, over in the UK. It's series, not seasons. But anyways, the final episode, the last episode, explains that. It's because that is the leaf that the doctor gave her in that episode. Something to hold on to keep her, to bring her back from the time rip. Whatever we're going to call it. And that makes a hell of a lot more sense. Because at that point, she had gone through everything. All of the doctor's life. Completely through the doctor's life. And the sun god was pretty goddamn close to dying just from trying to eat the doctor's life. I mean, he almost imploded just from that. Came pretty close. Well, imagine if he tried to do it again. And that's exactly what happened, just from Clara's perspective. And not only that, in the infinity times that she saved the doctor, as they describe, she was born, she lived a normal life until she met the doctor, and then she died. Well, that means that she had thousands upon thousands of times more stories than the doctor did. So, of course she filled up the sun god faster. Of course she filled him up more than the doctor did. It makes sense now. It makes a hell of a lot more sense than it did. And I like it. So, I'm glad they explained that. That bothered the living hell out of me. And that's about as far as I got in the rewatch of the season, because I was doing other things today. Alrighty, well, I think it's going to be a short episode, because the lag is bothering me. I'm out of nether brick, and that means I'm going to have to do very, very boring stuff to go get it. But you get the general idea of what the house is going to be like right now, at least. Should I put in another deck? Possibly, I'll think about it. Yeah, so, let's put in some stairs, like that. And let's put in some railings. Should I go with spruce wood still? I mean, I think I'm going a little overkill on this type of wood. It might be a little too much. Boop, boop. Oops. Optifine is screwing with me again. Yeah, that looks weird. I think that might be a little too much with the wood. There needs to be a border here. Ooh. I could do that, couldn't I? I could put a border right there. Okay, well, let's do that. Shall I do it? I should try it with smooth stone. Let's start with that. Smooth stone, smooth stone. Do I have any smooth stone already cut? Yeah, there's some stone brick cover slabs, but not many. 3 of them. No, okay, so let's cut me some more. Oh, plenty. Boink, boink. So, yeah, so if you haven't seen the new Doctor Who yet, or if you don't watch Doctor Who in general, I highly recommend you do, because it's quite fascinating, and a really good sci-fi series in general. Really, really cerebral. I mean, yes, okay, there are good episodes and there are bad episodes, and not much can be said about a few particular, well, one specific companion. I can't say I was a fan of Donna Noble. Can't say many people were. And holy crap, what they did to her at the end of that. They put her up on such a high horse and then they bitch slapped her off. It was epic. It was bad. It was really, really bad for her. And I feel sorry for the actress who played Donna Noble, because holy crap. But, yeah. I don't think I like it. I don't know. What do you guys think? This is a lot about you guys. I'm thinking about wrapping the, making like a handrail kind of thing on top of here. Let's see if that looks anywhere near good. Probably not, because it doesn't look right. Yeah, something doesn't look right about that. There's a possibility. I don't know if it will work. Let's try it right here. Basically what I do is I rip this off. I rip that off. Whee! I take our stone brick strip and somehow miraculously put it there. That is not what I wanted to put there. I selected the wrong thing. No, I need to put that... Yeah, not there. I'm going to have to go down. Yeah, okay, let's start there. Woo. That appears to be a no. Yeah, that appears to be a big fat no that I can't do that. Well, crap. Alrighty then, I think that blows that idea. I'm not sure if it would look right to begin with. Well, what if I say screw it and just put smooth stone bricks underneath there in general? I kind of wanted it open because if you think about it, most houses that have a porch like this are open for airflow. Because you don't want to get mold and crap underneath your porch. I guess I could always put stone bricks underneath it, but you know what? That actually kind of does look better, except for the whole microblock thing. So let's get rid of that microblock lighting glitch. And we'll just do normal smooth stone and be done with it. I like it. Well, I like the idea. I guess we'll see if I like it. Let's put you back. Don't need you there anymore. Alright. Oh, shit. Well, crap. I have to use microblocks because of the porch. Because I can't put regular vanilla blocks here. Oh, crap. Oh, what if I put lighting behind it? Oh, I can't even put lighting behind it. Yeah, what if I put lighting behind it? Does that help? No. Crap. I might just have to accept the fact that we have lighting errors. I don't like the fact, but I might just have to accept it. I have no choice. I wonder if there's any way to work around for that. What the hell happened there? One would think the smooth stone would override the wood. Whatever it's called. Oh, okay. This lag is driving me absolutely bonkers. I will, for the most part, work on this some other time. Yeah, it overrides it there, but it doesn't override it on this side. Why, oh why, oh why not? Well, crap. Alright, well, I think I'll work on that some other time. I'll worry about that later. But I will end the episode here, and I will say, as always, keep playing the game.